What's your practice plan these next couple of days before the Saints come marching in?
It's clever.
Considering it for a while.
Clever. Yeah.
You're welcome for that.
That was very funny. We're gonna go out there today for about an hour and 20 minutes. It's going to be primarily dedicated for the guys that didn't play in the game, which is a pretty good number of them. So they'll get the bulk of the team reps, and then certainly, especially with what time we got back, 5 o'clock in the morning for those that were wondering. That was really nice arrival time. Thank you, league. But so some of those guys need to recover because a lot of guys played a lot of snaps. So like I said, the majority of it will be for our ones, or the guys that didn't play, and then we'll be out there for an hour and 20 minutes. Tomorrow will be all jog through, and then we'll play against the Saints or practice against the Saints for the next 2 days.
Would you like to see maybe not have cross-country trips in the preseason for that reason, for 5 a.m.?
Absolutely. That would be great.
Matt, is that something you actually would like next year at the owners' meetings or something, suggest that you just play regional preseason games?
Yeah, I think it's a long season, and, I think that it can take a toll on you. So, especially, it messes kind of your clock up for the next couple of days, and you're trying to get guys back, and it also, if you get back past midnight, you can't come in until 10 a.m. the next day, which is good and bad. For us, it probably did us, our guys, a favor to give them a couple extra hours of sleep, but, you just got to adjust. That's just the world we live in.
Opposite with Amari, had those two big plays, one on special teams, one on offense. Just looking back on the film, anything else that stuck out? What was your impression, just the way he played overall, aside from those two?
Yeah, no, there's a lot to learn from. I think, he obviously made those two big plays, and he made some other nice plays on special teams. I think there's a lot to clean up though now. So, really, and it's not just him, it's everybody. Certainly we can be a lot crisper with our routes. We have to block better. We have to use our hands. We had too many guys going in there throwing shoulders instead of using your hands. So that's going to be a point of emphasis.
So on offensive line, those first 4 or 5 drives, how did you think the pocket looked in pass protection? And then on a couple of those runs on 3rd down for Goodson and Patrick Taylor, you got stopped short. What happened on those plays?
Yeah, I think it was a combination of a lot of things. We got caved in on 2 of those runs on one of the sides, and probably we ran up a guy's back, which is never good. But I thought all in all, I thought our offensive line protected pretty well. I think we did run a good number of quick game concepts, so the ball was coming out quickly as well. But when they had to, I thought by and large, they did a nice job.
Can you give us an injury update? Levitt, does it look like a shoulder?
Yeah.
Is he going to be out a while?
Yeah, he'll be out a while.
Anybody else?
Nothing too terribly long.
Mari went underneath the DB on the pick. Was that one of the 2 routes that you referenced that wasn't run the right way, or if not, what do you want to see him fight over the middle?
Yeah, it's 2-man. We got to take the middle. It's got to be a very thin route, and it's got to be defined. You know what I mean? You can't just get walled down in there. The guy's going to undercut you. So I don't think we still shouldn't have thrown it there. The play should have gone off schedule, but it is what it is.
Man, you get anybody back this week from that original PUP or NFI group?
Yeah. So we'll get Elgton back today. We'll get Bobby Tunyon back today, and we'll get Christian Watson back today. Now, I say that it's just the next step in the process. It's not like they're going to be out there in team drills, but they'll do some individual. And with them being back, now it allows you to do some walkthroughs, which is going to be obviously very beneficial especially for a guy that hasn't played in the National Football League like Christian. So it'll be great to get him out there for some of the walkthroughs.
As I'm sure you know, the Saints rookie left tackle has been kicked out of practice, I think 3 times for fighting his own teammates. Is it just goes without saying to not instigate that or not respond, or do you have to talk to guys and be like, don't retaliate?
Yeah, we haven't even talked about any of that yet, and certainly I've talked to Dennis about just how we want to operate, because ultimately, you know, we want to get great work in. I think that's one of the benefits of going against somebody else. You get to look at a different scheme, because not everybody's running the same scheme around the league, so you get to practice some different things that you wouldn't normally get to practice, and but at the same time, you want to get good, clean work. You know, I think there's a lot of, the toughness needs to be displayed between whistle to whistle, not after the whistle. So that's something that we'll hit with our team eventually, and just looking for good, clean work, and so we can all get a little bit better. And then for some of these guys, that's, to me, it gives you that flexibility to maybe not put them at such a risk in the game where it's definitely, you know, we're going to the ground. We're trying to stay up on our feet, and it's just a little bit more of a controlled environment.
And is the timetable such that any of those three PUP guys might be able to play in a preseason game, or do you ever rule that out?
We have not ruled it out, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that either.
Based on your answer to Rob, I understand you'd like us to keep our expectations low for those PUP guys, but
What makes you say that?
I'm pretty good at reading between the lines, but it's so obvious. But you obviously know that changes the game, because now that they're practicing, they can't be on PUP and start the regular season. So
Really?
Yeah, I'm critical. You're so glad I came to one of these. In all seriousness, you can at least feel some measure of encouragement, right? I mean, the fact that they're doing this is a pretty significant step, is it not?
Yeah, I would say so. It is the next step, and we're excited about it. I think the guys are really excited about it as well, and it's just going to be, they're going to feel more a part of it, and you know, but we're still going to make sure we do it the right way, because you're not talking about, I mean, you're talking about significant injuries, and certainly their health and safety is at the forefront of every decision we make.
Well, understanding it's going to be limited participation for the next couple weeks, but that's a pretty amazing turnaround for Elgton Jenkins, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think Elton's done everything that everybody's asked him to do, and in regards to the rehab process, and he's been super disciplined, and he's putting the work in, and no, that'll be a big boost when he is fully cleared to help us out, because there's not too many guys that are, number one, as talented as he is, but are also as versatile as he is. I mean, we can put him anywhere on that line. Shoot, we probably could line him up at tight end. Maybe we will. I don't know. You guys want to write a story about that?
Changed long snap, you know, you come in long snapper, you brought in another kicker, just how unsettled is that at this point in camp, the operation, so to speak?
Well, I just think, unfortunately, Gabe suffered an injury, so we had to make a decision there, and so that's kind of why the whole thing transpired. Lower leg. No, he tweaked a hammy, so in pregame warm-up, and you got to give him credit, because he continued to kick out there. That's why a lot of our kickoffs were the way they were, you know what I mean? Because we're not going to go ask him to unload on a kickoff when a guy has a tweak in his hammy.
Matt, going back to Amari for a second, it looked like he showed more burst than maybe we saw. I know he slimmed down, but was that also, you said he has a lot to clean up, but did he at least make mistakes at 100 miles an hour like you're looking for? Was he more decisive, did you think?
Yeah, I would say so. I thought about all our guys. I think the effort was there, no doubt about it, with all our guys. You talk about really trying to go for it. You're going to fail at times. You're going to make mistakes, and that's why there was so much good stuff for really whether you played or you didn't play. But there was a lot of great things for everybody to learn from, really in all three phases.
Jack Heflin looked like one of those guys that played a lot of snaps the other night. Just what did you think of what he brought to the D-line for you?
Yeah, he did a nice job of just shedding blocks and using, like we talked about, playing with his hands. I know he had at least one TFL, and he made a couple other nice stops in the run game, and he showed up. I thought he did a nice job.
Matt, when you looked at the tape of Jordan's performance, what things did you feel better about? What did you maybe feel not quite as good about? How did you feel?
Well, for the most part, I thought outside of maybe the first play or the first third down, and then the throw to Amari, like the decision making was pretty solid. I know there was a couple plays he'd like to have back on some of those flat throws, and then, I mean, quite honestly, guys got to help him out as well. We had a lot of drops that we need to clean up. I'm okay. Like, you never want to have drops, but it's just, all right, how are you dropping the ball? Are you trying to be aggressive with your hands, or are you letting it get into your body? And that's another thing that we have to clean up, is just making sure, because I feel like our guys out on the practice field have done a pretty nice job of displaying aggressive hands. That's something that we always kind of stress and emphasize to them. And when it gets into a real game situation, sometimes you revert, and so we just got to continue to work on it. I think there was so much good that went on in the game, and then, like I said, it's never going to be perfect, and we'll clean up the stuff that's not.
Man, I think to put the cart before the horse here maybe a little bit with Elgton, but does that potentially, if everything goes smoothly, does that potentially score away the right side of your line? What you're thinking there?
Well, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that right now. Until he gets fully reacclimated with us and does everything with us, then, I'm just going to take it one day at a time, and this is the next step. So we're excited to get him back out there, an individual, and being able to do some of the walkthrough stuff. But as far as where he's going to play, I think time will tell. I don't want to commit to the right side. I don't want to commit to the left side. I don't want to commit to tight end. I don't know.
Does it feel to you, though, that he could be ready for week 1?
I think, yeah, everything's on the table, but again, I'm not going to hold my breath on that. He'll be ready when he's ready, and we're not going to rush him back. I can tell you that right now.